When you live in a small town, everyone knows where you've been and what you have done. I've been trying to leave this old town since I...
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zeta.
And I'm Kelly, and you're listening to
Two Sides and the Truth. Okay, so catching up on this last week. So Saturday was my 21st/49th birthday. Woo whoop. Whoop whoop. I had a great day.
Tasting alcohol for the first time.
It was nice.
Yeah. Did you get a little tip?
A little bit. I mean, you were with me. Yes. So we recorded. We spent the day with my girlfriends. We recorded. And then Rick and I went to dinner. We had a great dinner.
Where'd y'all go to dinner?
Well, we tried to go to Rustin Cattle Company, which is in Ennis, Texas, because we were trying to think outside the box and do something different. And I wanted to wear my cowboy hat, and I wanted to dance.
Yeah.
It was an hour and a half wait.
Oh.
So we left because
So you're like, we're not doing this.
we're too old for that. We don't care enough about our cowboy hat or dancing. So then I was like, well, let's go to the Rocket, which is where I used to work, and they're just not as busy as they used to be. So we walked right in, got our food. Rick is like, you want to go next door to the bar? And I was like, nope. I'm tired now. I'm ready to go home. So we went home. We hung out in the garage. And we actually had a great time. We danced in the garage. It was very good. The next morning, I woke up and he pissed me off.
Oh, dang.
And I didn't talk to him for most of the day.
Short-lived happiness.
These fucking men. And the Sunday was not as great. And so by Sunday night, he realized he had fucked up. So he was nice again and trying to be nice. And it worked out. Whatever. It worked out. And then Monday, Tuesday, today's Thursday. I had offered Al that I was going to come over and undecorate their house for Christmas.
Yeah, because they've been away and dealing with everything.
I just got the hiccups. I might hiccup in this conversation. So I was like, let me come and help you. So I can't stop hiccuping. So I finally got to see Amy. I got to spend some time with Amy. Al and I fought a Christmas tree. Legit fought that fucking Christmas tree. I said in the middle of it, why is there no video camera? Because I was fighting this bitch. I was punching this. She was real fluffy. So I'm like, rah, 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 rah. Al's got a bungee cord. Amy's got plastic. We're trying to fight the Christmas tree to put it in the box, take it upstairs. We did it. After we were done with the undecorating of Christmas, there's a hiccup. Amy and I get to spend some time together. Had an amazing conversation. I feel like I got my bitch back.
Yay.
We had such a good conversation.
So happy to hear that.
I'm going to tell you, and this is my only thing I'm really going to say about it because I feel like it's private, but my biggest takeaway of Amy being sick and everything she was going through was my worry she wouldn't come back Amy, like her personality. And I fucking love Amy. She's independent. She's strong. She's willful. She's just a bad bitch, And my worry was she lost that. The worry's gone.
Good.
Bitch is back.
Bitch is back.
And I'm so happy. And we had such a good conversation. And I'm really happy.
Good.
That she's back. And she is really back. I got old Amy back with a little extra attitude, and I kind of like it. And so I did that the night before last. And then yesterday I did nothing. I made chicken fried steak. That's not exciting.
Yeah, it is.
And then tonight recording. So what you got?
Okay, well, I do have a little bit of information that happened this week. Is a little
I don't even know where you're going with this.
I mean, totally a little crazy. So, was it Tuesday? Yeah. So Tuesday, my boss comes to me and she's like, "Hey, you probably got an email because I got an email and my other boss got an email and she's like, I want you to check your email and see if you got this email." And it was saying that there was a mandatory like Teams meeting, which Teams is like Skype or not Skype, but like, you know what I mean? The
video meeting.
Video meeting. I was like, okay. I was like, is it like training? Or she's like, all it says is that there's a mandatory meeting at this time on Wednesday. And like, so it was going to be the next morning. And I was like, okay. And she's like, and I went into my email and I had it as well. So it was like, you know, and then there was a follow-up one that was like, please be on site. Like, so like,
be at the work.
Be at your,
Don't be at home.
and it was like at 10 o'clock. And I was like, can we tell them I don't do 10 a.m.? Like, apparently.
Yeah.
But so I was like, okay. So my bosses had no idea.
I love the fact that you don't do 10 a.m.
Sorry.
Not 7. I go in at 6, but 10.
I don't do 10 a.m.
But go ahead, continue. I'm proud of you. That's not judgment. Proud of you.
So they don't know what it's for. And it doesn't give you any information. It's just so there's the region, like the Salvation Army has different like regions or whatever. So, but our region is very vast. I don't even know all this.
Yeah.
It's more than Texas. There's a couple surrounding states. So whatever our region is, I can't even remember what it's called though. But apparently this had gone across to every single Salvation Army employee that's under this Salvation Army region. Got this email to be on site on this thing. And I was like, that doesn't sound good.
No, that sounds bad.
I said, this is either going to be something that's really good or it's going to be really bad. I was like, they're about to lay us all off.
Or here's $500,000.
So I am, of course, can't sleep that following night because I'm just like, what is it about? What is it going to be? And I'm like talking to Dante. I'm like, what if I
know it's your birthday, but
like what's he's like, no, you're going to be fine. Of course, Dante being Dante. Yeah. It's going to be fine. Even if you do lose your job, you know, you're going to be fine. You're going to be taken care of,
fucking up the curve for every man that's ever existed. But go ahead. Perfect Dante.
Right.
For real.
And I'm over here like, I'll go pick out a corner tonight.
Yeah. What do you want on my tombstone?
So anyways, so we get there to the meeting and it wasn't good. So
wasn't? I thought you were going to go the other direction.
It wasn't good. So they did away with 38 positions across their the Salvation Army. So out of all the positions that they have in their company, they did away with 38 positions. I think it was 38 positions. So it wasn't just 38 people. It was anybody that held those positions. And then of course the guy who's doing it has to just read, cause they can't go into all, he has a set thing. I'm reading to you. And it was like, following this meeting, emails will be going out that will tell you whether you are an affected person or not an affected person.
Well, I know you're affected because I waited on you today.
So then I'm just like, man, like we didn't even get we got the answer to what it was, but we still are waiting because we have to sit here and wait for our email to come through. I felt like I was on some kind of like twisted Hunger
Why
Games
are they
kind of
doing
thing.
this? Why?
They really didn't give us a lot of information on that. It was just they are having to do like, restructuring, whatever the typical term is or whatever. So then of course it was short and sweet, that meeting. As soon as he was like, said what he said,
I've been on those calls before. I know what it's like.
I was like, oh my God. And so I look around because we're all there. We're just on different laptops. And so I look around to everybody else and I'm just like, what just happened? Oh my gosh. So we're really sitting there waiting. And so, I finally get my email. And so I go into my email. My position was not affected. And neither was any of the ones on the Boys and Girls Club side. And I think that's because we're partnered with the Salvation Army, but our positions and what we do is not under the Salvation Army. So even though we're partnered with them, we're not underneath them. We're two separate companies, but we're just partnered. So their layoffs didn't affect our layoffs. Now, it could still affect us because we're in that building. So if they're having to do like further, cost cutbacks or anything like that, it could affect us because we're in that building.
Yeah.
But in our region, and actually in our Boys and Girls Club, in our Salvation Army, we're not in the red. A lot of Salvation Armies are. But
So
we're
you
not.
didn't lose anybody in y'all's location?
Yes, we did. So the Boys and Girls Club didn't lose any people, but our Salvation Army side did. We had a couple of people who were are being laid off, and then we had a couple of people who were at full-time positions that got put to part-time positions. So it was not a good day, and I feel so bad.
Was this Monday?
This was yesterday.
Yesterday.
This happened yesterday.
Oh.
So I feel so bad for the people because there's one lady there that's been there for like 17 years.
You did have something to catch up on.
17 years, and then she got just out of the blue. And here you go, is your email, and your job, your position is no longer there. And so they have until the end of February, but after that, their position's gone. I'm like, I can't even wrap my brain around. I'm like, I've been with the Boys and Girls Club. I've worked with them since I was 17. And I can't even imagine being told, oh, I'm sorry, but this position is no longer going to be able to work for this company. That would devastate me if I wasn't able to work for the Boys and Girls Club anymore. So I can't imagine what these people are going through that are in this position. And my heart goes out to them, and I've been praying for them, and it's hard.
Yeah.
But I'm so thankful that the Boys and Girls Club wasn't affected, because if we would have lost people, we would no longer be able to provide the services to the children because we wouldn't have the staffing.
Well, I mean, I'm going to catch up people that are listeners, but during COVID, the Boys and Girls Club here in Waxahachie closed.
Yep.
And it was detrimental to the community.
Yeah, because I wasn't able, that's when I had to move to Hillsborough, because I had to go to a club that was still open, which we weren't even open there. The kids couldn't come, but we were providing food and stuff for the community.
But even so, like when I got divorced, I had to find daycare, and I moved around a few times. And when I ended up in Waxahachie, the school they accidentally put me in by mistake, that's a long story, was not a bus ride. It was a mistake. They should have put me in a different school. They said the bus service didn't come to my home for that school. And as a single parent, I had to find a ride for Zoll to school, to and from school. Well, finding just a ride is hard to do.
Yeah.
Rides usually come with other services. So I hired the Boys and Girls Club because I was in a bind. And so the Boys and Girls Club got Zoll to and from school for about 6 months until they realized they had zoned me into the wrong school, and I actually had bus service and didn't have to pay somebody. Mm-hmm. So about 6 months I paid Boys and Girls Club. And so as long as they were picking him up to and from school, he would stay there till I got off work. And he used to go home to his older siblings who would help me. But if I was paying for it, might as well stay with them. Mm-hmm. He loved it. It's the only daycare my kids have ever gone to that anyone's ever loved. I can't say enough good things. And not just about the Boys and Girls Club. Your particular Boys and Girls Club did wonders for my son, who's autistic and misunderstood and struggled at the time. Now he's good, but then he struggled a lot. Mm-hmm. And they were the first, good experience for Zoll in school.
That's really good.
Even though it wasn't in school anymore, it was.
Yeah.
He made him human to kids he went to school with that treated him shit at school. But once they got to know him at daycare, they were like, oh, he's just different. He's still cool. He's just different. It changed his life. Mm-hmm. So I've told you this before. Like the Boys and Girls Club, he loved.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah, it very much
It's important to this community.
I think so too. So I'm really happy that we weren't affected, that we're still able to provide the service, because I feel like
So you still have a job?
I still have for now. I still have a job. So but yeah, that was definitely a big thing this week that happened.
Good for you.
So
good for you. Well, yeah, you got some shit going on.
Yeah, but oh my gosh. Okay, so we're fine.
We're caught up.
January's finally over with. Oh my gosh, we're out.
Longest year of our lives.
I felt like January was a whole year of itself.
Every year I hear that. They're like, we made it through that first year of our month, or the first year of our year.
So true.
I was like, that's my birthday. It was good for me.
It wasn't good for you. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
No, it wasn't until that point. I literally all of Tuesday night and then Wednesday was
stressful as hell.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I've been through that.
But We made it through.
No bueno. So Kelly still has a job.
Yeah.
She's allowed to
Moral of the story. I don't have to go work the corner.
Yay.
All right. So for our topic of today, it's February. And for February, we are going to be focusing on love in relationships and of all kinds. So we're going to start off with what love is. What does it mean to you to be loved? And what does it mean to show love to somebody? So you can kind of go a little bit of that on, because we've talked about our love languages, and that plays a lot into, how we like to receive love and how we show love to others. But what does love mean to you, Zeta?
I think it's changed.
It'll do that. Love has definitely evolved for me.
I feel like, and I'm not talking love languages. I mean love.
Yeah.
I think that when I was younger, I thought it meant you were devoted to me, and I was the cat's meow. Mm-hmm. I was the shit. Now I feel like it is, I'm willing to suffer for you, but not because of you. Mm-hmm. I think those are two different things. So I'm willing to put in the work, but if you're not, I'm not, because I love myself. I think it's just important to love yourself as I love the relationship and the person you're in love with. Mm-hmm. And that's older Zeta talking. Younger Zeta thought, if you're putting in the work, I owe you. Mm-hmm. Older Zeta is like, I don't owe you. But I recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say if that makes sense again, because y'all know I say that a lot. But does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
I'm willing to put in the work if you're willing to put in the work, but if you're not, I need to fucking look at that red flag and acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And I think it is putting in the work and understanding they have to put in the work and understanding no one's perfect.
Yeah.
There is no perfect love.
Yeah. So when I definitely have a different perspective on love from when I was younger. And for me, it's weird because I had love, and love can be in different categories for different people. But my idea of love for unconditional love for my family was completely different from how I viewed love to what kind of love I would receive from somebody. And yes, it's going to be different from when it's a family kind of love or a friendship kind of love or a significant other, romantic relationship love. But across the board, you should be loved correctly, and just because you're in a significant other, relationship or friendship relationship, that love shouldn't be less than what you're expecting your unconditional love from your family. And I didn't have a level playing field when I was younger. And so it's almost like I didn't expect my boyfriend or my husband or whoever it was to love me unconditionally. I felt like I had to do something that was deserving of that love. I had to be good enough. I had to be, I don't know what I thought I had to be, but I was never good enough for the person that I was with. But I didn't feel that way with my family. I didn't feel like I had to be a certain person or be worthy of their love. I knew that they loved me. So I really didn't understand that it was supposed to be that way with the person that I was dating or the person that I was with. I think
that's kind of common. I think sometimes it muddies the waters when you're used to your mom's love and your siblings' love, that when you find a love of your life, it's real easy for them to be like, I love you, and they just say it and you believe it.
And I was very naive.
And you get older and you're like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. You love me, but you don't want me around my mom?
Yeah.
Or you love me, but you want me to give up this? Mm-hmm. You love me, but you're willing for me to make this sacrifice? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's confusing to a lot of people. And as a young Zeta, I was confused, and I accepted love that wasn't really love.
Yeah.
But I do think my ex-husband thought it was love. I don't think he was manipulating me. I think he genuinely thought that. It's confusing. Love is fucking stupid. But it's
Put that
real.
on a t-shirt.
But it's real. We're all looking for it.
Oh, yeah.
You may not find it in a significant other. You may find it in a best friend. And I think that's what this month is about. Love is not always about a significant, like you said,
it's not
last
always
week
like a
when we talked about, we're going to talk next month about love. And you said it could be all kinds of relationships. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Because you will love your mother and your father and your children and your spouse and your boyfriend and your girlfriend and your best friend in a different way, but it is just a powerful love, as powerful love.
Yes.
And it muddies the waters for other loves because you will see how your mother loves you and you will expect the same. And it's never going to be the same.
No.
Your mom might suck.
That's true.
She might also be so awesome that it fucks up the curve for everybody else. So you just have to kind of figure out what works good for you.
Yeah. But now I feel like, especially when you find somebody who has a really good head like around what love is, that makes a really big difference too. Because I've even learned from Dante a whole nother level of love because of the way that he is with me.
Do you think he's that way because his mom taught him that or his kids?
I really don't know. I don't know what has molded him into the man that he is and the way that
I
he
think
loves.
Rick's daughter taught him.
I think a lot of the love that he has and a lot of the things that he's gone through and the relationships that he's been in has made him to the way that he is, because he's been in some not so great relationships. And I feel that because of that, and he tells me all the time, he loves how easy I am to be with, because I don't nag on him. I don't, and I don't, expect all these things from him. I don't get upset. I don't question him. I'm not like, where are you at? What are you doing? Like, I'm very,
chill.
I'm chill. But I am that way because he's that way.
Yeah.
Like I know I can be that way because that's the way he is with me.
Basically, everybody needs a Dante and he has set the bar. I'm serious. Dante's fucking a badass.
Really
I'm not just saying that, but he is, because he gets you.
He really does. And he has made me want to be better because I see I see how he is with me, and that's how he is. And I tell people this, I've talked to people that, and whenever I have a conversation with him, or if I'm out with my girlfriends, like, he does not bother me. If he knows I'm out with my girlfriends, he's not even going to call. Because and it's not because he doesn't care. It's because he knows I'm hanging out with my friends.
And he trusts
He does
you.
not want to bother me. And he doesn't want to make me feel like I have to go home, even if he doesn't say, "Hey, when are you coming home?" But he doesn't do that. He doesn't care. He's going to give me my time. If I call him and I'm telling him, "Oh, we're doing da 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 da," he'll sit and talk to me.
That
but he's
is
not gonna
also
question.
y'all's love language. Like, I'm not trying to bring up like a love languages, but he is zoning into the fact that is what makes you happy, which is kudos to him. But it doesn't work for every relationship.
No.
Not everybody wants that. And that's okay too.
Yeah. But you just have to, that's what I'm
Now,
saying. You have to
do I
find the
think that
person.
might be the perfect situation? Yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking Dante, you do too. Y'all rock at that. You found, you met each other in the middle. Not everybody meets someone. It's really hard to meet someone that speaks to your love language to that extent. I mean, Rick definitely fucks up. So do I. Like, I'm going to put that out there. So do I. In a different way. I'm not jealous. I don't care about stupid shit sometimes that he does care about, but I care about other things that he doesn't care about. But he has to care about because I do.
Yeah.
And I think the point is you're meeting in the middle. Now, you just happen to find someone in your middle. But I think it's okay if you're not on the same page.
Yeah.
As long as you work with each other. Again, I'm sorry for this, but does that make sense? Really trying hard not to say that.
Well, that is such a big part of love, is communication. Is being able to, make that connection, because you have to have that connection with somebody. Like, and I understand, like, just like natural, unconditional love. But when you're building a relationship with somebody who is a friend or who is a significant other, you have to form that connection. You have to form that bond. And that comes with communication, and it comes with, showing somebody. And it's not all just about talking and feeling, but actually the day to day to day, showing that person, like rising to the occasion and showing them through your acts and through time, this is love.
And so with like Dante, that example is the fact that he allows you to be you.
Yeah. Every single day. And the
you're
fact
a lot.
that he's there.
You're a lot.
Yeah, I am.
Like it says a lot for him that you're a lot. And I get where I'm not going to lie. If I was your boyfriend, I'd be a little jealous.
I would too.
Like you get a lot of attention. You're entertaining. You're funny. You're hot. Like that's a lot. And not every man is capable of that. Now, I'm not making excuses for men that are assholes. But what I'm saying is that says a lot about Dante. And it's okay if your man or your woman are not up to that standard.
Yes, very
I
true.
think sometimes it comes with time, too.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have been that way. I wouldn't be the way that I am now if I didn't see it in him and I admired it so much in him that I'm like, that's what I want. Yeah. I want that frame of mind. I want to be able to, because I'm not saying he doesn't have insecurities. I'm not saying that he doesn't worry from time to time. He's a human being.
Well, he hasn't shown it that I know of.
He knows how to
But as your
deal
best
with that.
friend, I would know of it if it was a problem.
Right? Yeah, you would. And that's what I knew. That's what I was like. Well, I want to be able to be so comfortable in myself and be so comfortable in the person that I am with, and to know, like, if I've chosen you and we're together and I'm going to give you all the trust and all the love and all the everything. And it doesn't even matter if you deserve it or not. I'm going to do that because that's the person I am. And I'm going to continue to love you and treat you and respect you this way. It's only going to work out,
though, if he finds a way to reciprocate. And he's found that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he was that. That's the way he was, and that's what made me want to get to the point where I am, because I have my insecurities and I have my wonders, because I've been let down in every single relationship I've been in, and most of them because of being cheated on. And I'm not going to say I've never worried about Dante cheating on me, because I have. I'm a woman. Of course, I've had these
I've never
times.
worried about Dante cheating on you.
Have I worried about him being a serial killer? Yes,
maybe, but not cheating.
but it's so nice. It's
anyone that doesn't listen to us every episode is gonna be like, "What?
He's a serial killer?" Yes,
y'all go back a few episodes, maybe like 7, 8, 10 episodes. You'll understand.
But yeah,
I'm just putting that out there. We don't think he's a serial. I mean, he's probably not.
He's probably not. But we just say he's so perfect. He has to have something big. It's not. He has to at least. He has to be a serial killer, or he has like. I can't even say he has like a double life, because he's
never anywhere but working.
He wouldn't have time unless he isn't really a crane operator and he's like some like secret double agent. And so he's just like, he's going to, Davis Crane, but he doesn't really work for Davis Crane. It's just like a cover. It could be something like that, but it has to be something, it has to be something.
I like where you're going with this, but I actually think he's just a good guy.
I know, I do too. I do too, but
I mean, not that Rick's not a good guy. He is a great guy. He takes very good care of me. Not as easygoing.
I have never met somebody with a more level head and a more like just calm demeanor.
Well, you know what that says a lot about his parents. Mm-hmm. Maybe not both even. But someone taught him that. Because I am dealing with Rick's demons that his parents gave him on a regular basis. And I'll tell him, your parents' demons is not mine.
Those are my demons.
My mom's demons are not mine. So if I can let her demons go, I have to let your mom's. Like I can't compete with that, But I think it's normal. The average person competes with demons.
Oh, yeah.
Like the average person doesn't get a Dante.
I know. I should just stop talking about him, because I'm sure
really,
people just hate me.
I know.
I would hate me.
Fuck you.
I really would.
But he is a good guy. Like, I want to acknowledge the fact that there are men out there like him.
There really are. And that's what I like to tell people, is because I totally get it. Because before I met him, before I started dating him, I was at the point where I was so fed up and I was so done. I was so fed up of putting myself out there.
Yeah.
I had tried. I'm a lover. I just am. I'm
going to put this out there. I'm sorry I'm going to embarrass you. Kelly dated this guy that not everybody was interested in. He was a cute guy. He's cute. You know what I'm talking about. He's a cute guy. But he was just like young. He was younger than her. And not real mature and didn't have an established life. Like he was just starting out in life. He was very young. And might have possibly gone to school with my kid. Maybe. And when that happened, everybody was like, Kelly is dating so why? And I was like, because he's a nice guy.
He was.
He still
I'm a
is.
sucker for nice guys.
He still is.
I don't care how you look. I don't have a type when it comes to looks.
Yeah.
I have dated all over the place.
First off, he wasn't bad looking.
No, he wasn't. But I'm just saying.
But he was young.
He was nice.
And he was nice, but he didn't have an established life. And everyone didn't understand that because you get a lot of attention. So they're like, she could have like anyone, and she's picking this guy that has no established anything.
Nothing going for him.
Who's young. And I feel like, and I could be wrong, that I might have been the only person that got it.
Yeah. You pretty much were.
Yeah.
Because I had to tell people that all the time. They're like, why are you dating him? I'm like, first of all, I hate that question.
He's a nice
Second of all,
guy.
he's nice to me. That's really all you have to be.
It doesn't even matter that he was just nice to you.
Yeah.
He was honestly a nice guy in general. And that makes a difference.
It really does.
And I know his family very well. I'm talking multiple generations of his family. He's an anomaly in the family. Perhaps the gay guy I talk about often that Zoe's close with is in the same family, so I know them well. And he's a good guy. So when people would give you a hard time, I'd be like, I don't get it. I don't know why y'all are giving her a hard time. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah. But like
I'm not saying he's Dante.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is what was good about him was truly good about him. And you recognized that and you were like, cool.
Yeah.
And other people are judgmental and you're like the catch. And they're like, what? And you're like, no, I don't care about your car. I don't care about your motorcycle. I don't care about your job. I care about if you're a good person or not. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's really what's important.
Yeah, it is.
So you may not have worked out with that guy. I'm sure he's got someone he's very happy with now. But I think it followed you into Dante, and that's how you found Dante, is that you weren't looking for what do you own. And Dante's got his shit together.
Yeah.
He's older. He's got a career. He's got a home. He's got his shit together. But that is not what you were looking for, and that's why you found it.
No. Well, I that's like I was saying. I was really just fed up. And it was really hard for me because I was so ready to just, give up and not even try anymore. And then I met Dante, and it was so just like eye-opening and just such a
And you met
relief.
him how?
I met him at church.
Okay, y'all, listen, dating apps are not always it. I'm not saying you can't find someone that way.
I'm not saying you can't either. You can find someone anywhere.
But it is a dime in the fucking rough.
It is.
You have a better chance at Walmart.
And you have to, but that's the thing. You have to put yourself out there. You have to take the chances. You have to get hurt. You have to be dragged through the mud. You have to be cheated on. Like you have to go through these things. Like, I'm not saying they're all going to happen
That's okay,
to you.
yeah. But don't give up.
But it's going to happen. And you are going to get to the point where you're like, what's the point anymore? And that's okay. You just got to keep going. You have to just keep living your life. And keep doing the good things for you, because that's what I did. I was just staying positive, and I was staying happy, and I was doing the things that I needed to do. I was going to church, and I was singing on the worship team, and I was even at a time that was really hard for me. And there he was. I looked up, and there he was. Yeah. And so you never know where it's going to come from. You never know when it's going to happen. And who knows? I mean, I hope that we stay together. You never know.
But if you don't, it's fine. You've learned something.
I've been so happy. Even if we don't work out, I have been so happy in these 5 years that we've been together, and I've learned so much, and I've learned so much about myself and the person that I want to be and how I want to be loved and how I can love. Like, I've learned.
It's been 5 years?
Yeah.
Damn.
So it is so worth it. It is so worth anything that is to come.
Yeah.
So
I believe you. So the moral of the story is you're going to have to kiss some fucking frogs.
Yeah, you really are.
But at the end of the day, hold your ground and there's something better. If you don't hold your ground, you might end up with a fucking frog. Just being honest, you might. Yeah. So hold your ground.
Yeah.
But don't act like you're better than the ground. I'm just being honest. Like, people are like, I deserve this. I'm a queen. I'm a princess. I was like, bitch, you haven't had a job in 20 years. What are you bringing to the table? I hope you can cook. What I'm saying is, it's okay if they have faults, because so do you.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm not saying you're not better than them or as equal to them. What I'm saying is you're different than them, and that's okay too. Not everyone's going to meet a Dante.
No.
But you can meet someone that's a good person.
It's very true.
Do I want to kill Rick sometimes? Yes. Have I? No, because he's still a good guy. He looks good in his jeans, too.
Looks good in them jeans.
I mean, I'm just saying. He said the other day, what do you want to do for your birthday? I said, wear my hat. He goes, what hat? Your brother's? I said, no, the chocolate brown one you bought. $500 hat he bought me last year for my birthday. No, the chocolate brown one. Wear your brother's. It's better.
After all that.
He bought it. He was like, wear that one. It's better. I have many hats, y'all. Many cowboy hats. He was like, wear it. It's better. And I did.
Perfect.
So is he perfect? No. But did he know what to say? Yes, he did. Because he's right. You know what I mean? He understands the connection I have to the hat. Mm-hmm. So that's all I got to say. Saturday, he was good. Sunday, I wanted to kill him.
What are you going to do?
I guess not kill him, because I don't want to go to prison.
Yeah, let's stay out of
It
it.
really wasn't dying related. But you know what I mean? Like, no one's perfect. He's going to fuck up. I'm going to fuck up, you know. The kids are going to fuck up, and that's going to fuck us up.
Yep.
You know, so. Anyways, this is the moral of this month's story is love, and it's okay for it not to be perfect.
Yep. Amen.
And it's okay for you to try to find perfection, as long as you understand you're not perfect either. Does it make sense?
Make it make sense, Zeta. Make it make sense.
I can't. That's all I got. That's all I got. Okay, today's segment, we're going to discuss a little bit about relationships. Like we discussed, it is February. It is relationships. It is conversations about relationships. And if you have listened to any of our podcasts, you have listened to me discuss my life history and what I've gone through as a divorced woman and a single mom. And so we have a regular listener, Melanie Moore, who is very active on our page. And she made a comment that I just thought was so great, and it hit home for me. And so I wanted to discuss it. And so I had asked, you know, what do y'all want us to talk about? What do you want us to touch into? And Melanie said, and this is her exact post, so kind of a long story to get to my topic. In high school, back in 1990, I only dated one person. Then right after high school, I started dating my now ex-husband. We were together for 25 years. I've been single since 2020. I'm ready to get back out there and start dating. So how do you navigate it with your kids? Yes, they are grown, but they are still my kids. And how do you not carry the mistrust into a new relationship?
Such a good topic.
It really is.
Yes.
Because I really feel like if we our listeners haven't experienced it already, they're in the middle of it.
Or it's coming.
I'm sorry, girls.
I'm sorry to say it.
The first marriage, even if it's 25 years, is often a practice marriage. So I just really want to discuss, like, you know, how that worked out. And so whenever she sent me the message, it really hit home. I sent it to Kelly. I was like, I want to talk to her. I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
So I got Melanie on the phone. Melanie, introduce yourself. Tell us about you.
Hey, I'm Melanie Moore. Just turned 50 and I had a meltdown the other day because I saw my first white hair. So I'm going to start dyeing hair.
I feel you.
If you listened to last week's episode, you heard about my cat Obi's white hairs, but I understand. Go ahead.
And I'm a third grade teacher in Burleson, Texas.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah, because I love my children, but not many other people's.
Take some patience.
It does. It does. So, you know, you had a 25-year marriage and it ended. Before we even discuss, like, the dating aspect, did you see it coming, or are you happy you did it?
It was never something I had ever planned, but God's timing did not follow my timing. And looking, you always look back and you're like, oh my gosh, that was perfect timing. And so I am definitely glad that it has happened. But definitely at the time, I did not want it to happen. But I am so thankful and so glad that, yes, we are not together.
Yeah.
So do you feel like this was his idea, or do you feel like this was your idea?
At the time we had, was living in San Antonio. I was living here.
Oh,
we were together, but he had gone, he was over the road truck driver. And so he was always gone.
Yeah.
And then he decided he wanted to get into the oil field. And so he was living there. I was living here. And, we had a big blow up, and I talked to my counselor, and he was like, do you think he would come to counseling? And I was like, no. And he was like, you can't answer for him. And so I asked him, and of course he said no. And counselor was like, well, there's your answer.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't, he goes, it takes two people to try, and you can't try on your own.
I'm really glad you actually listened to your counselor. Yeah. I mean, I'm serious. How many people, women and men, make excuses?
It's so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, I'm a big daddy's girl, so I called my dad crying, and I was just, the only thing I could say was, I'm done. Mm-hmm. And that was the only thing I could get across. And my dad was like, I heard it in your voice that you meant it. And so after that point, when he said he wouldn't go to counseling, I said, well, there's only one thing to do. Then you need to go, seek a lawyer, divorce papers or something. And so we did it all online. And
after that many years, you did it all online.
Yeah. We had bought a house. And so we had sold the house because we were in financial trouble. And so we had already sold the house. 2 of the 3 of our kids were over 18. And so we only had, my car was in my name. His car was in his name. We didn't have any other assets. And
is it not insane to be together that long? And I was with my ex-husband from the time I was 21 until I was about 32-ish. I'm not exactly sure when it ended, honestly. But I've kind of blacked it out. But, I was together with him from my mid-teens until my early 30s. And I feel like I have blocked out so much of it. Like, I forgot the marriage. So if this makes you feel better, there is a chance in some future world of yours, you're literally going to forget about this person. Because it really does happen. I forget about all the what is it called?
Idiosyncrasy?
Yes. All the little things about them, like, the little things. And I have forgotten them. And I don't know him anymore. And honestly, I don't know if I ever knew him. But my kids were the biggest issue because their perspective of him and I had to protect. And that's really hard to do when someone won't even... it was different in my ending of my relationship, but if they won't do counseling with you, if you invest 20 plus years and they can't give you an hour of time in counseling, it's going to create some animosity.
Yeah, we got technically divorced in 2015, and then we got back together a year and a half later, and then we're back together for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And during that time, it was 2 boys and then our daughter. Daughter was gung-ho daddy's girl. I was all in the wrong. And I never said a negative thing. And to this day, I still have never said a negative thing about their dad to them. Now, don't go talk to my friends because I'm going to talk shit about them.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's what your friends are for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But to your kids, that's really hard because in many women's cases, their kids are their best friends.
Yeah, well, now that they're grown and 2 of the 3 of my kids have kids of their own, now they see it from a different perspective,
right.
And they want nothing to do with him.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to say
And
anything.
so,
And you don't really wish
yeah.
that, do you? I, as a parent, I don't care for my ex-husband, but I want my kids to have relationships with them. I'm sure you're similar. Like,
Yes.
you might be
And
mad at them on your aspect, but you're not, like, trying to impose that on your children.
no, and I told them, I said, I will side with whatever side. I understand why you were upset with him. I totally understand. And they were like, Mom, how can you not be upset with him? And I said, I am. I
Right.
am. But
Right.
if you guys want him around at birthday parties, holidays, I said, I can put my personal feelings aside
Yeah.
because my parents divorced and my parents didn't get along. And I knew how it felt
Yeah.
when both of my parents were in the same room and you could cut the tension with a knife.
So
And
how
I
is
said,
it now? Can you do that now? Can you be in the room with him now?
They'd have, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. They have nothing to do with him. We have not seen him in probably a year. And
I'm
I
gonna
haven't-
give you a light at the end of the tunnel, and I don't know if it's gonna happen for you, so I'm not gonna act like it will. But I have a very, very, very good friend from Houston that was someone I looked up to, but was also I would consider my best friend in Houston. And her ex-husband and her were married for 32-ish years, maybe. And I used to tell my ex-husband when I met them, I was like, man, they are a couple goals. Like, they were amazing. And when they divorced, he went south. Like, he did everything you never saw happening. And so that went on for about 3 years and just rocked her world. She's in her 50s, rocked her world, rocked her kids' world. He died. He had a fucking stroke and died. She had to reconcile the man she knew for 30 years that became a different human being that her children loved and her children looked up to, but they also knew what he did to their mom. And after he passed, I feel like she got a new an outlook, and it was of love and care, and she let everything go. And she told me, I'm glad I wasn't with him when he died, because I would have never known what he was capable of and what he could do to me. But I'm also really glad that the kids only saw the positive till the very end. And so I think that the man you knew is probably the real him. And I think that sometimes when you get older, you don't know what you're doing, just like a child, and you screw up. And I'm not saying he's coming back or any of that stupid shit. I'm just saying they fuck up. As adults, we fuck up. Not just men, women too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We fuck up. Like, our body starts fucking up on us, and our mental health starts fucking up on us, and menopause hits, and we're crazy, and we do stupid shit, and we feel certain ways. And I'm not blaming us. Half the time, we're probably right. But what I'm saying is things change, and I hope your kids get to the point that they can love him for his faults. Like, it's okay that yours fucked up. My mom's right, but I still love you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
I told him he needed to sit down with the kids. They're old enough. He needs to sit down with the kids and apologize for what he has done.
yeah.
And
Because it affects them for the rest of their lives.
Yes. And that has never happened. And his family is very adamant. So why do the kids hate him? And I said, look, this is his story to tell. But one more time, you make my kids feel guilty for having nothing to do with their dad, then I'm going to spill the beans.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a really common problem.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Kelly, you've not been through it, but you've heard it.
Oh, yeah.
You've lived through me. And it is a common problem. Like,
Yeah, it is.
And there is nothing you can do to make him a better man. I will tell you, I told my kids a few years ago when the shit was hitting the fan over something, and I told my ex-husband this, if I could have made him a better man, we'd still be together. I wouldn't have left the father of my children. I wouldn't have ended a marriage if I could have made him who I needed him to be. I couldn't. And it wasn't possible. And that's okay. He doesn't have to be perfect. He doesn't have to I don't know how else to put it, but my ex-husband does not have to be the man I thought he was. He just needs to be a good father. He doesn't have to be a good husband. He doesn't have to be a good spouse. He doesn't have to be a good man. He doesn't have to be all that. He just has to be a good father. That's the only thing I care about. And I think if you take out of the equation how he makes you feel, which you have every right to feel that way. He is, my ex-husband stole many years from me that I could have invested in someone else, and you could have invested in someone else. But regardless, that's the path you were on. That's the life you led. It gave you the children you got. It's a really hard part to be the parent who's in the right that doesn't want to talk shit about the person who's in the wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to word that.
There always seems to be one parent that is taking the high road, who's not going to bash the other one, who's not going to influence the way the children feel in any way, and they end up taking the shit end of the stick most of the time.
Every time they get blamed.
Yeah, and when it's most, I'm not saying that anybody's necessarily blameless, but when you are taking the high road to not influence your kids and how they feel, a lot of times you get a lot of that backlash, and because the other person doesn't care. They don't care how you're coming off. They don't care how the kid, they don't even care how the kids feel about them. So it's like you're protecting them, and you're also protecting the spouse who doesn't even deserve to be protected.
Oftentimes that spouse is just trying to prove you wrong. They don't actually care that their kids think bad about them. They're just trying to prove you wrong.
Yeah, I told him, I said, look, I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell your side of the family your story and why the kids are upset with you. But if they come at my kids one more time, it's on. I'm going to spill your beans.
Well, I don't blame you for that.
Me neither.
And he was so upset. He was like, well, if you do that, then I'm going to kill myself and da-da-da.
Fuck you.
Gosh.
Fuck you.
Yeah. And I said, so you're
I'll be better
telling
off.
me.
I will tell you, my ex-husband, I would use with him, I would say, listen, I'm going to call your father and tell him the man you are. Because there was no one he cared more about than his father. I will call your father. I will tell him facts. He knows me well enough to understand those are facts. And he did. He always believed me. But fuck that shit. That is manipulation.
Oh, yeah. At its finest.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you can't tell me he didn't manipulate you before.
Oh, no. And tons of times.
You can't do that big of manipulation and you not tell me it existed before and you didn't ignore it.
Oh, I ignored it. And I tried to,
make excuses.
He's just, and I'm done.
So what's your plan now? What are you going to do for you? Like, fuck him, right, Kelly?
Yeah, we all agree.
We agree. I don't even know his name, but fuck this motherfucker. And what are you doing for you? What's Melanie's plan? I'm serious. Like, at some point, you have to realize you're worth more than all that. And you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to cry about it. You don't have to consume yourself with it. You don't have to make a plan to fix it. None of that bullshit. All you have to do is worry about you and Melanie and her future. So what is your plan to say fuck you and live your life? And I'm serious. I'm kind of mad now.
When school started in August, I was 49 and my 50th birthday was in November. And I said, before I turn 50, I want to go on a date because I hadn't, dated anybody. I mean, my number is 1. There's no experience there.
Oh, God bless you.
And so I said, I made it a goal to do that. And I achieved my goal.
Nice.
But it was weird and awkward and exciting and fun and weird. And so I need to put me back on the list.
Yeah. I agree. And I think you need to understand that it's okay. Your kids are allowed to see fault in you. And I think a lot of times when I was going through divorce, he was trying to make me look so bad that I was afraid that if I added to that and I showed the real me, which wasn't always perfect because we're not, that they would think their dad was right. And I am giving you permission to occasionally fuck up. And I'm giving you permission to not be perfect. And if you meet a dumbass and it doesn't work out and you fuck the guy and then you realize it was a mistake, and I'm just using this as an example, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to all stumble. And part of being single is fucking up. And part of being our age and single is extra fucking up because we are clueless. Because things have changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
I mean, what are you using? How are you finding dates?
What's your dating game? Like, how are you putting yourself out there?
I swore I would never get on a dating app because I'm like, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But I did sign up for a dating app.
You kind of can't avoid it these days. It's a big part of dating in this day and age.
And I joined, of course, Facebook is the only social media I have. So I've joined some singles groups on there that are supposed to be planning some events. So
that's cool.
You know, during school time, it's a little crazy, but summertime, I have a little bit more freedom. So kind of just getting out there. My biggest thing is just trying the mental block I think I have. So that story, when we divorced and then we got back together, I told him, I said, look, I knew you had a girlfriend. I did not date anyone. Like, I was just going to school, taking care of the kids. Like, that wasn't even on my radar. And I told him, I said, look, let's write down everything that has happened because I don't want to be blindsided later. I knew you had a girlfriend. Let's talk about it. I don't want to be blindsided. Well, he did not tell me the full truth. And a year and a half after we had gotten back together, I, had my well woman check and come to find out, he was not honest. And I got tested. It was 2016 and I had HPV. And
which 90% of women have. Like legit, 90% of women. But
so
if you've been one person, that's easy to narrow down.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, didn't come for me.
Yeah, thank you for that gift.
Yeah. And
now
so
I'm ready to beat his ass.
So I had to get my inside scraped and they had to send it off because they thought it was cancerous. And so for me, it's more of a mental block of, sex is great and all, but is it worth, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you first off, majority of HPV don't result in death. But you did not invite that into your life. And so it's just, that's heavy as shit.
Yeah, it is. Especially when, because that's the reason that you want to know those things, that why you ask people those things is so you can protect yourself.
Yeah.
And if somebody isn't going to respect you enough to give you the truth when it comes down to protecting your health, that's pretty messed up. Like it is.
It is. I will say, without giving details, I have a real close friend that I've been friends with for a very long time that was with two men, the father of her first child who did her wrong, and then the father of her second child. The father of her second child, who she was with for a very long time, gave her HPV, and it ruined their marriage because she knew she didn't have it when they gave birth to their child. And then years later found out she did get it. It affected her health. She got the worst case scenario of the situation. Uh-huh. Most women don't. It is very prevalent. It is normally not life-threatening. This particular person, it is life-threatening. It's ruined her life. And he's 20 years together, and he's now dating someone else and took a pill and fine, and she's not.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, you have every right to be mad. Your kid has every right to be mad. But listen, you can't be mad to the point that you're not like living your life. And you can't hold every man up to the standard that he left. because there's some good men out there.
There are.
I think a few are on dating sites, but for the wrong reasons. I feel like they're probably in the same boat as you are, where they probably don't know what else to do.
Yeah, they feel like that's really the only thing that's available.
But I don't think you're going to find that guy on a dating app. And I'm going to tell you why. Because people like you and people like that guy don't know how to react to dating apps because it scares them too. Mm-hmm. And I think the most authentic way of finding someone is through people. And I don't mean a bar. And I don't mean a friend's blind date.
Yeah.
I mean, you're at the grocery store and you talk to a random stranger. I mean, you're getting gas and someone says something to you. I think sometimes when you get to be our age, you have to be open to the fact that you're going to meet someone in an organic way, in a different way. Mm-hmm. So it could be a coworker. It could be a guy at the gas station, whatever. But I don't think dating sites are the answer. I know it happens and it works for some people. But I feel like there's a lot of really good guys and girls that get lost on dating sites.
Yeah.
Particularly guys.
Or they start off good and then they get corrupted.
Well, I mean, think about guys compared to girls. So as a woman, you're going to get hit up because men look at it as numbers. Some men, not all men. But, some men, if I ask 10 women to sleep with me, maybe one will. I don't know if that's the right number.
I think that men cast a lot wider net than women do.
Yes.
When women get on the dating site, I'm not saying all, but they find somebody that they're interested in and they're talking to this person and they get to know this person. And men are talking to 10, 15, 20 women at the same time. When women
we think that, but they're not, because there's so many. Think about it. We can go to the gas station and get gas and get hit on.
Yeah.
Men don't get that. So I think that they are talking to 20 women thinking, I just want one to catch a net, and then they get a good one and they don't know if she's good. Like, I don't think they realize I found the one that doesn't care about the guy at the gas station.
Yeah.
And they abuse the woman, whatever the case is. I just don't think dating sites are it. I could be
So
wrong.
far, it hasn't been good.
If I were to find myself single, which God forbid that happen, but I would be way too scared. I would be too scared to do online dating.
I mean, what is the right answer, though?
I don't know. That's why
Church?
The people, the last, pretty much all of my boyfriends that I've met them. I've either got introduced to them or I just stumbled upon them. So
yeah,
the whole dating thing to me, it would be just, I've tried it. I tried it when I was a lot younger and it was just crazy to me, but that was back before dick pics were illegal. So that was a scary time. All right.
Yeah. I just feel like dating sites, there are good guys out there, but they get lost in all the dick pics.
Yeah. Do too.
Well, so far it hasn't been good. So.
No.
So what's the plan B? We got to come up with a plan B.
I know we do.
I am open for plan B through Z.
So look, here's what we need to do. This is our month of love.
Yes.
And talk about relationships. We need a plan B. We need listeners to send us a plan B and tell us what else you do.
Yeah.
Like, I met Rick at a bar.
Open.
I met Rick at a bar the day after the only man that's ever hit me. I've never put this on the podcast. I met Rick the day after the only man that's ever hit me. And we weren't in a relationship. We had been. We broke up maybe 2 months before. He found out that I was going out and talking to other people and got upset, and he showed up at my house drunk and hit me. And I was devastated. I was in my 30s. I had never had a man put a hand on me. I did not know how to handle it. And to this day, it's the only man that's put a hand on me. And I was like, I'm staying home. It was like 2 days before my birthday. I'm staying home. I'm very upset. I don't know how to handle it. At the last minute, I decided to go out. I found a friend to go out with, which is a different story. And we went out and I met Rick. And honestly, I hated men. I was very upset. I couldn't believe a man hit me. And I don't know. It imploded my world. And what did I do? I went out and found the manliest fucking man you've ever seen that has no problem hitting men, that has never once worried me about hitting me. And I just think that sometimes we have to think outside the box. I met that asshole in a bar.
Yeah, so that goes to show. I mean,
Anything can happen.
Yeah, you could meet somebody anywhere.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
And a lot of people would think, "Oh no, don't meet somebody at a bar. You're not going to find anybody good at a bar." But that's not true.
No, I met a good guy at a bar, and I've met other men at a bar that weren't bad guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they may not be my soulmate, but they weren't bad guys. But I'm saying you can meet a bad guy anywhere, and you can. I did meet the guy that hit me in a bar also.
Yeah. So what do we?
Motherfucker, what do I know? But what I'm saying is, there are very good men out there, and you don't know where you're going to find them.
There really
and it might be a grocery store. It might be a gas station. It might be online. I just don't think it will be.
But you never know.
I think that's a diamond in the rough.
Mm-hmm. But you got to give yourself time. Try to have fun with it, even if you don't think it's going to work out. I mean, but just take your time, have fun, and pray a lot, I guess, because it's when you think about dating now, it is so daunting. And whenever I think about it, it is very daunting to me because you never know a person. And it doesn't matter how long you've known a person. You could have just met them at a bar or just met them out and you're trying to get to know them. Or you could be dating them for, a couple of months, getting to know them. You could be, about to get married to them. You could be married to them for 10, 15 years. And you never know what a person can do. You can know a person and you can know everything that they've done and think that you know who they are, but they can still surprise you. They can still completely, they can do a 180 and they're no longer the person that you knew. So when you're going into dating, I want to just tell you, to have fun, look out for yourself, definitely first and foremost, but try to have fun with it. Try to figure out the person that you really are attracted to, who brings out the best in you, who you have a good time with, who you can, just feel comfortable around.
I made a list when I decided I wanted a boyfriend, and it was Rick. This is when I met Rick, the guy that hit me. He wasn't a bad guy until he hit me.
Well, they never are until they do.
I mean, he wasn't even crazy
so
or weird.
Really he is, though.
Yeah, obviously he hit me. But what I'm saying is, prior to that, I drove him nuts. I was maybe more of the problem. I just wasn't ready to settle down. I just got divorced. Whatever it was, it's still not my fault. I'm not saying it's my fault. What I'm saying is it wasn't the right person for me. But when I realized I was ready to stop playing around and it was time for me to find someone that I really wanted to connect with and I wanted to be happy with, I made a list of what I was looking for. And I think that helps. I think you need a goal. And it might be like you have a goal of what's most important to you. It's non-negotiables. I think there is such a thing as non-negotiables.
Oh, yeah.
And then there needs to be things that are, this would be nice. Mm-hmm. They're negotiable, but they'd be nice. So I had a friend recently going through a divorce, and she started dating a guy, and that guy and her didn't necessarily work out. But what she was hung up on when that didn't work out was the fact that they liked the same music. And it's hard to find. I mean, we're in the South. Everybody likes country. She doesn't like country. And she was like, it was really hard to find a guy that didn't make me listen to country all the time. I respect that as someone who likes music. Even though I like country, I respect that as someone who loves music. I don't want to listen to Florida Georgia Line. I got a line I draw. I get where she's coming from. But the problem was, it was keeping her from men that were really good men that might listen to Florida Georgia Line.
Right.
And so I think your goals need to be realistic, but also be not letting yourself down. So maybe he listens to Florida Georgia Line, but he also makes the bed every morning. You got to pick what's the priority. And those guys exist.
I could have both.
You can have both. Fuck yeah, you can have both.
Yeah, you can. You sure can.
Okay, never mind. Don't take advice from me because I'm willing to settle for Florida Georgia Line.
I'm sorry, but I'm not settling for that.
My dad, Rick, does not listen to Florida Georgia Line.
We did not think
But
so.
he does make me listen to some shit I don't want to listen to. Regardless, I think you just need to don't expect anyone to be perfect. The perfect person is not out there. But I think it's okay to stick with your gut. And if you don't find someone that doesn't fit the most important criteria, that's okay too.
Okay.
Because if you've listened to our podcast and my girlfriends that have never married or had children, I promise you every one of them is fucking happy. And it's okay. It's okay.
It is okay. It's okay to be single.
It is okay to be single, yeah. I mean, sometimes I want to kick Rick and I would be perfectly fine being single. But I'm being serious. Like, it is okay to be single. It is okay, you know. But if you have certain things that are important to you, I'd like to give you this great, like, dating advice and, like, I would have it, but I don't. My only advice is to be true to yourself. And to not settle, but also understand that it's okay to not be this exactly what you pictured. Right. That's not settling. Like, if you found the perfect guy, but he listened to Florida Georgia Line, he's a pretty good guy.
Poor Florida Georgia Line.
Well, I can't help it if they suck. It's not my fault. Listen, it's not my fault that they don't sound like Tyler Childers, okay?
It's not your fault.
But, you know, I will use Def Leppard because also nails on a chalkboard for me. But if there's that guy that listens to shit you don't want to listen to, or maybe when he does the dishes, he doesn't do them the way you do, or maybe he's a dog person and you're a cat person, or, you know, maybe he's a Ford person and you're a Chevy person. What I'm saying is
he's an iPhone person and you're an Android person.
Yes, pick your battles. Pick your battles. And then, you know, understand that it's okay for them to be not exactly like you.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put that. It's okay for them. Look at Kelly. First black guy she ever dated became like the perfect guy.
Right.
Tell me Dante's not amazing.
He's the best.
I am starting to like put my scale on Dante. How would Dante do this?
Yeah. WWDD.
I mean, she didn't purposely not date black guys. That wasn't the case, but it wasn't her norm.
No.
And she went outside of her norm and she was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And even with Rick, I'm going to tell you before Rick, I did not date cowboys. Am I from cowboys? Am I from ranches? Am I from Texas? Yes, I am everything you expect out of a Southern girl. I like the boy that looked like he just robbed the bank prior to Rick. And I decided to reach outside of my normal element. And I'm just saying, reach outside your normal element.
Okay. Look outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now don't like give up on what's important to you, but just make decisions on what's important to you based on what's truly important. Music is not important. Money, important, but not like you have to be rich? No. Do you have to be able to pay your bills? Yes. Like find a happy medium.
Exactly.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you have a retirement plan? Maybe not, but do you have $20,000 in the bank? Okay, well, you have potential. Like, you see what I'm saying here? It's okay if they don't fit. Are they wearing stupid, like, white tennis shoes with black knee-high socks? Maybe. So go pick their clothes. And then in respect to what you said in your original comment that you left about talking to your children, just be honest. Your children know you. They understand you. If you're just honest with them, like, hey, I met a nice guy. He's not like your dad. He's a little different. It's okay. He makes me happy. I promise you, your kids will be happy. They've seen what you've gone through. And if they haven't seen what you've gone through, it's okay. You're still allowed to be happy. My kids are not dating my boyfriend. He's not hurting them.
True.
So it's okay. I do not need my kids to tell me who to date. I do need to make sure that there is a cohesive, happy family and he's not a dickhead and going to do anything wrong to my children. Obviously, that's my part that I own. But I'm not going to bring that asshole to the table until I know that's not happening. I'm going to vet him before it ever gets there. And your kids need to trust you did that.
Yeah.
And I think if you have a good relationship with your kids, they'll get that. And I promise you, he's fucking up more, and you're going to look like a saint still. Because my kids, it doesn't matter what I do. They're like, you're still our favorite. Because at the end of the day, you put in the work with your children or you don't. You put in the work or you don't. They'll figure it out and it'll work out. And you know, a mother and a kid's bond, unless you really screw up, is really hard to break. And if it is broken, you might have really screwed up and it's time to look at yourself. You know, and I don't get that impression. And my therapist, no. This is just me, a mom talking.
Just Zeta thoughts there.
You can ignore all of that. Am I wrong? Like, do you see where I'm coming from? Okay, I might be wrong. Okay, first off, I might actually be wrong. But this is what I
That being said, one of the things I wanted to touch on that you had wrote was about dealing with distrust. And I 100% feel you when it comes to that, because that's one of the hardest things for me, because pretty much every relationship I've ever been in my entire life has ended because of infidelity, lies, cheating, that kind of thing. And my marriage ended because of infidelity. And so so you're like, you think that you know somebody and you can be with somebody for so long, and then you found out they're not the person that you thought they were. So how do you trust anybody? And that is an ongoing thing with me. It's still not something that I've conquered. And I'm with an amazing man, such an amazing man. And he proves to me day after day after day that I have nothing to worry about. He is an open book. He's completely open and honest with me. And I still have problems. I still have those inner thoughts that tear at me, and I'm wondering and I'm questioning. And it's hard to deal with. And what I have to do is I have to remind myself that I'm choosing to do it, because it is just like trusting somebody is just like forgiving somebody. And it's a choice that you have to make, and it's releasing yourself of things. So, you know, you forgive somebody and you don't forgive them, you forgive them for you. So even though Dante has not done anything that warrants forgiveness, I am giving him trust, and I'm giving him forgiveness, and but it's for me. It's me releasing all of the trust issues that I have welled up inside of me from past relationships, and I'm letting that go. And you have to. It's a continual thing that you have to choose almost every day or whenever it does come. And just like loving somebody, and when you decide that you're going to spend your life with somebody, and if you marry somebody and you're choosing them day after day after day, you're choosing to love them, you're choosing to trust them, and that goes along with that distrust and being able to let it go and choosing to do it. And even if they do turn out to, you know, break your heart or something, whatever the case may be, you can't lock yourself and lock your heart away, because you don't deserve that. You deserve happiness and you deserve love, and you can't let that fear of being hurt, you know, keep you from trying, because if you do that, you end up, you know, all alone.
Well, not only that, I'm going to put this out there. You want to trust and you want to believe, but at the same time, look for love bombing. I mean, have you seen this yet? Have you experienced a man love bomb you that you've talked to and he immediately was in love with you? It's horrible.
Yes.
I don't recommend.
I'm like,
isn't it a turnoff? Like,
yes.
I'm like,
you don't. I was like, we haven't even met, and you're like talking about like cuddling in bed. I'm like, no.
No, or
like,
I love you, or I feel this connection to you. Pay attention to love bombing. I'm just going to put, at our age, I feel like I've learned this lesson. Pay attention to love bombing, but also be open. Man, is this not a Barbie movie? Is this not the monologue America Ferrero gave? Like, you have to be perfect and understanding, but don't be this and don't be that. We're giving a Barbie speech right now, I feel like. But it's true. Like, you have to put yourself out there, but be protective of yourself. It is a very fine fucking line. But understand, if you are putting your children's life first in front of you your whole life, when you go into dating, it'll be in the back of your head and you can just trust yourself.
Okay.
You know, you're going to meet someone that doesn't seem perfect. Just trust yourself. You're not stupid. Your gut will tell you. If you trust your own gut and you listen to your own gut and you act on your own gut, you're not going to let yourself down. Just trust yourself. It doesn't matter how much you trust your children or a man or anyone else. If you trust yourself to make good decisions and you listen to your body and your intuitions, you'll be okay.
Okay.
But
make a list. Think outside the box.
I feel like we went all around all the answers and didn't get to one. But we did. This is real life. This is what it's like. Like, this is real girlfriend talk. I'm being serious. I don't have a perfect answer. I haven't had a perfect life. I've not mastered the perfect relationship. I've been divorced for 16 fucking years. I've dated the same man for 11. We're not married. I'm not perfect. But what I'm saying is, trust yourself. Because at the end of the day, I still trust myself. And just trust yourself, and your children will understand. If your children don't understand, you said they're adults, that's their own problem.
They'll get to a point where they do.
You only get one life. If I disappoint my kids on occasion, I only get one life. As long as I don't fuck them over in my disappointment, like I didn't bring a man into life that abuses them, or takes money from me, or takes money from them. Like, the only person it hurt was myself mentally, maybe, and I can fix that quickly. You see what I'm, like, be aware. I don't know how else to put that, but be aware of what whoever you bring in your life does to other people, but also be aware you deserve to be happy. And sometimes those things don't mix perfect. And if your kid is expecting perfection from the first man you bring in your life, or the second man, or even the third man, there is no one fucking perfect. Their dad wasn't perfect either. No. And you're not perfect, right? I'm not perfect.
No.
I am. Sorry.
Kelly is. She's never had a child. But I'm not. And so, like, I'll tell my kids that. Like, sometimes they get mad at me, and I'm like, did I tell you I was perfect? No, I fuck up.
Yeah, I must have missed the part of that conversation.
Yeah, like I'm still learning. And I know that you know that about your own parents probably too. But my biggest takeaway from this is it is okay to fuck up, but trust your gut.
And obviously, it's okay not to have all the answers.
And your kids don't have to know everything you're doing. No. If you want to go fuck some dumbass for one night and never talk to him again, your kids never have to know. I'm just saying.
I want you to call and tell me, though.
I mean, maybe. I would call you. I would, yeah. Have a girlfriend you can call. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it is okay to fuck up. That's the moral. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to bring the wrong man home.
It is.
Just don't keep him there.
Just kick him out of bed eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to, what is it called when they just live with you because you pay the bills? There's like an ongoing joke about it. Homo sapien. Like, they literally need a home.
Oh.
Like, they're not gay. They just need a home. I'm just saying, use your context clues and trust your gut. So,
and have fun.
Well, thank you all. Yes, thank you all so much.
I don't think we helped you, but
at least you got a laugh. You got a laugh out of it.
But you want a girlfriend talk? Like, this is legit how I would talk to you if you were sitting in the cabin at the table with me as I'm chopping onions.
You get what you get.
Yeah, I'm not acting like I actually know what the fuck I'm talking. My sister, who's a therapist, is probably listening to me and like, bitch. But as a girlfriend, as a friend, as a woman, as a Gen Xer, as someone who relates to you, I'm just telling you what I've lived and my girlfriends have lived, and I'm just giving you permission to enjoy your life.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
I think that's the best kind of therapy anyway.
I agree completely. My girlfriends have gotten me through so much, and it's okay to fuck up. Like, if you mess up on the first guy, it's okay. I promise you, there's 4 more in the wings. They're probably not on a dating site. They're at HEB.
Like I said, so far...
Go to the vegetable section of HEB or the meat section.
HEB.
I stick by this. Go to the meat department of a grocery store and act stupid.
Like, I just don't know which cut is the best.
What's the best cut? Tell me, as if you're not the bitch that's been making the roast for 20 years. It doesn't matter. Play stupid. That's probably bad advice. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. But you get what I'm saying as far as trusting your gut. That's really the moral, is trust your gut. And your kids, if you've raised them the way that you think you've raised them, they're going to trust your gut too.
Okay.
You know, and if you fuck up, totally okay.
Yeah.
You know,
We still love you.
yeah. Is there anything else you want to
thank you.
impart or you want to say or you got to put out there? You got the free reign. What you got?
Like I said, I am open for plans B through Z, and we'll see how this year plans out, and I'll keep you all updated. And if anybody has any brothers, uncles,
Wait, where are you? Wait, where are you again? You told me the other day, but where are you again? What city?
Burleson, Texas.
Burleson, Texas.
Yep.
Anyone got a brother in Burleson, Texas? Let us know. Let us know.
43 to 57, about that age range.
So 33 to 57.
We need to start our own little.
43.
No, I ignored
43.
that. I purposely chose to go with 33.
You never
No,
know.
you
Get
can't
you
be
a young
closer.
king.
Listen, you might just want to fuck
Can't be
them.
closer to my kids' age.
You might just want to fuck
Closer to my kids'
them. You
age.
don't have to keep them. Throw that shit back in the pond. I'm just giving girlfriend advice. She wanted girlfriend. I'm giving girlfriend advice. Sometimes you just want to fuck them and throw them back in the pond. I mean, not necessarily me, but I'm giving advice.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's good advice. I know what I'm talking about. But for real, okay, listen, I suck at memory, as y'all know, if you listen to me. Kelly does not, but I do. So I want you to come back to us in about 6 months and be like, Zeta, remember me? I remember this conversation. I will remember you because you're an OG. Like, I've seen you comment and such. But I want you to come back to me like, let's discuss where I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Let us know how stuff starts going in summer when you do events and stuff.
But you have to come to me because my memory is so bad. I'm not kidding.
No worries, I will.
I would like to pretend like I'm kidding,
definitely.
but I am definitely not. And keep us updated,
I will
please.
definitely reach out.
And thank you for reaching out. And thank
I
you
listen
for
to you all the
being
time.
so honest with us. Because, I mean, seriously, when you commented, I was like, bitch, hit it on the nail. Like, this is a real life problem. So thank you for that. And thank you for being honest.
Oh, you're welcome anytime.
All right. Thank you and good night.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, good night.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us. Maybe come back next week and bring a friend.
Yeah. And remember, there's always 3 sides to every story.
2 sides and the truth.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.